Hi, my name's Kathy Halber. I'm a volunteer with ADRC in Rusk County. Welcome to this month's Beneficial Bites. So it's November. November is a beloved time of year for many Wisconsinites because it's deer hunting season. And a lot of people have asked me how they know it's safe to eat venison. And so to find that out, we came to the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, and we're going to meet with Emma, who's a wildlife biologist here, and she's going to tell us all we need to know about deer hunting and deer safety and venison. So, Emma?
Yeah, thanks for meeting with us today. And so just a quick background on deer hunting first. So, deer hunting is a really important part of deer management here in Wisconsin. It helps us manage the populations, and it also gives us a lot of really good information and data from those deer that are harvested. And so one thing that we do is we're able to age the deer that are harvested, and that helps us, know what the population is going to be like in the future. And so, the most important thing is distinguishing fawns from the reproductive adults. And so these fawns have less teeth. So it's usually pretty straightforward to tell. But in hunting, it's a lot of folks eat deer during the year. About 340,000 deer were harvested in the state of Wisconsin last year, and about 5,000 were harvested in Rusk County. And so in Rusk County, if you think of about 100-pound deer feeding, about 100 meals, that's, about 500,000 meals per year in just this county alone of folks that are eating deer. So it's quite a lot. So keeping, making sure that the deer is safe to eat. The first sign is just when you're out in the fields, make sure that the deer appears healthy. If there's anything of concern, just give us a call and we can walk you through the steps and, make sure that the deer is going to be okay for you to eat. But if the deer looks healthy to eat, once you're butchering, just some practices to take are make sure you have a clean surface when you're butchering. You can use your 1 ounce of bleach to 1 gallon of water to clean all surfaces. Wearing gloves can be a good idea as well, just in case you have any cuts you don't know about. You don't want to be transferring, between the deer meat and your hands. And then I think just the most important part is just making sure that you cook that meat all the way up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And typically, like I said, with a deer that's healthy, you should be good to go. And I think the biggest disease that we're dealing with the deer population here in Wisconsin right now is called chronic wasting disease, CWD. And it is a 100% fatal disease, unfortunately, once a deer gets it. It was first discovered in Wisconsin in 2002. And Rusk County does not have it yet. So hold our breath, fingers crossed. But what we are doing now is we are surveying for it because prevention is really the important part with CWD. Once it gets into a deer herd, it's really difficult to get rid of because CWD is a prion disease. It's a mutated protein, and it's in the family of diseases as mad cow disease, actually. And so when those prions get out on the landscape, they can last for years. And those prions get transferred through deer saliva and fluids. And so other deer coming and eating from the same place that another deer was, that can spread it very quickly. There have not been any confirmed cases of CWD, transferring to people. But we can't recommend that people do eat deer positive with CWD. And so that's why we're doing this testing, just so folks can know for sure. And we've got these kiosks set up. We've got one at the station, DNR station here. And so what folks can do once they've harvested their deer, they need to register it first. And then they can come to this kiosk and they can remove the head from the deer. Usually we ask for about 5 inches of neck with it. And then we've got some bags that you can put it in, and then they'll fill out this data sheet here. This is just a CWD sampling data kit. They'll fill out some information of where it was harvested, if it's a male or a female, if it's got the antlers, you'll be able to tell. But a lot of times people like to keep the antlers as, good memories. And then, you just put the head right here in the freezer, and I come around and pick it up, and we sample the lymph nodes, and that's where the CWD is detected. So those get sent down to our CWD processing center, and folks get their results back usually in about 2 weeks. And then, you know, like I said, in Rusk County, we haven't had any detected. So once you hear back, your meat should be good to go to safely eat. So.
Great, good. Thanks, Emma. That was very interesting and very informative. Thanks very much. So now we're going to show you an easy way to make your venison. Cook it in the slow cooker so you know that it's cooked completely. And we're going to go over and meet with Bob, and he's going to show us how to make some Hauser Hoagies. Thanks, Emma.
All right.
All right, so now I'm with Bob Hauser, my friend Bob. Bob is a forester with DNR, and Bob is going to walk us through a quick and easy way to make like the equivalent of a French dip. And venison, which is very, very good for you, is especially lean, and it can be challenging to cook. It has 22 grams of protein versus 17 grams for beef. It's a very high source of protein, but with all of that, it has less than half of the fat. So it can be tricky to cook. And Bob has a really easy and good recipe that he's going to run through for us. So take it away, Bob.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Like Kathy said, I'm a forester out of the Ladysmith office here. I do some private land work, some public land work, and some fire control work here in the spring and the fall. But we'll go ahead and we'll get started here. What I've done is I've already added about 3 cups of water to the crock pot. This is about 2 pounds of sliced venison roast. It's about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch thick, which I've sliced across the grain.
And that needs to be slightly frozen still, right?
Yes. It works much better if the meat is slightly frozen. When you slice it, holds together a lot better, and it's much safer to slice.
Okay.
But what I'll do is I've got 1 packet of onion soup mix, which I'll add to the crock pot. Give that just a little stir here. And one thing that's nice about this recipe is we normally make quite a bit of it. We'll make a couple crock pots worth at a time. And we will go ahead and freeze that up with the juice and everything. It's just really great for a quick, easy meal. I've got a 1/2 cup of sliced onion that I'm going to add. I really like some extra onion in mine. Just kind of a personal preference here. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of pepper.
And the recipe is in this month's source here. So,
and I've got 2 teaspoons of garlic salt here. That's going to go in.
So he has a finished one here, and it smells absolutely delicious.
That's right. I do like a little bit of sweetness with mine too. So I've got 3 tablespoons of brown sugar that's going to go in. I think the molasses helps give it a really nice flavor. Helps with the caramelizing too. And then a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce.
And then you cook that on low then?
Usually what I do is I cook it on low, usually just for, depending on the size of the crock pot, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3. I don't want it where the meat is, easy to shred and falling apart. I want to make sure that it's cooked, well done. But I don't want it falling apart because I want some of that texture in the meat. So I've got all the ingredients added now. And I'll go ahead and I'll put the meat in and mix things up.
Okay.
While it's cooking, I like to stir it a few times just to make sure that it cooks evenly and everything's well distributed.
And then, like you said, it freezes.
That's right. I like having some nice juice in there. And then you can take and put a spoonful on a nice hard roll, like a Hoagie style roll, or a fancier type of hard, crunchy dinner roll. It really works well.
And you mentioned to me earlier, sometimes even over potatoes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Works really good. It's a really hearty winter meal, too, when you've got, some nice potatoes in wintertime, especially when it's cold out. The juice makes an excellent gravy.
Great. So, Emma, I'm not sure if you can show what it looks like when it's all done here. But truly, it's just the same as a French dip. So you put your meat on your roll there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
We'll
then,
go ahead and we'll put one together here.
oh, okay.
And yeah, no, we eat a lot of this. It's a quick, easy family, especially for us. We've got a couple little kids at home, and it's nice to have something that's easy. We can go ahead and just thaw it right out, and we are good to go. We got a nice hearty meal. I mean, it's all wild, healthy game. We'll put a little juice on top there.
Oh, look at that. And there you go. A Hauser hoagie.
There we go. It's very enjoyable. So.
Yum. Just in time for lunch. And just one more promo, Bob, you do come out and you will walk people's Bob's come to our house and walked our woods with us and gave us some great tips on how to keep our woods safe.
Yep.
And he even told my husband a great spot to put a new deer stand, which he has had great success with.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Yes, that's a service we do offer. We do work with private landowners in the county. Myself, I take care of the eastern side of Rusk County. We have another individual, Ron Weber, who takes care of the western side. But yes, we're more than happy to meet with private landowners, walk their land, and offer some management recommendations based on the forest types that we find and the health and age that they're in.
Great. Well, happy fall, safe hunting, and we'll see you next month. Take care.
Sounds good.